for my 13th general heathen topic tonight, relations between the sexes. Many neo-heathens take as their guideline Tacitus's account of how severe the ancient Germanic tribes were towards wives who strayed in a marriage, and how moral this made their society. This was in fact one of Tacitus's main focuses, because his account was aimed at chastising by comparison the Roman wives and the Roman society. He also, and Caesar also, lets slip that the Germanic women were raised to bear arms and to be healthy and trained alongside the men, a degree of equality that he might not have wished to see in Rome. And if we fast forward to the Icelandic legal situation, we find that women had the right to dissolve a marriage, to divorce their husbands if he so much as slapped them once, or if he showed any signs of effeminacy by wearing a shirt with a low neckline, even if she'd made it for him. Moreover, the arrangements for marriage in most Germanic cultures of the historical period involved settling a sufficient sum of money and goods on the new couple that if the marriage dissolved by the death of one of the partners or by divorce, it would be possible for the other to take the money and survive. Only if the wife's children were of age did she not have the right to touch this money and become an independent woman in effect. This is a greater degree of independence than you find in post-conversion medieval societies. Icelandic freedom for women took a gigantic step backwards after the conversion. You can see traces of similar freedom for women in the Anglo-Saxon law codes of the Anglo-Saxon kings, but after the conquest, when the church gains heavier control over morality and law, again you see women becoming chattels or worse. To cement this notion that there was in fact a great degree, comparatively speaking, of freedom and equality for women in ancient Germanic societies, look at the situation with our goddesses. Pretty much all of them are strong, independent females. Freya gets first pick of the dead ahead of Odin. Skadi comes to take revenge for her dead father and is taken very seriously indeed. The gods calm her down so that she will accept reparations, and then they give her a very fair reparation deal. That marriage that resulted from that agreement is also an example of a failed marriage, and nobody made a fuss and say you have to stay together. They agreed by mutual agreement that they had to live apart, that it wasn't going to work. We have examples in the law of arguments between Frigg and Odin. We also have the tragic case of Freya losing her second husband Od because he can't put up with her transgression. We have many examples of the kind of home life that would freak out a 1950s housewife or Queen Victoria. Church, kitchen, and children was not the orbit of the Germanic wife in heathenry, and our goddesses demonstrate it. It's a falsehood, it's a misapprehension of quite serious nature to jump from Tacitus's propaganda to thinking that the values of the 1930s or the 1950s in well-to-do middle-class families, with all secrets swept under the rug, of course, are the Germanic way. Moreover, looking at Habermas and its statements about not trusting a woman, but on the other hand, men trick women and give giving value even to the crippled and the blind. You can see that all people were valued, and it would have been held not only wrong but foolish, a waste of resources, to treat half the population as mere ornamentation at best. So a greater degree of equality between the sexes than I think some have been led to believe.